Hello, amazing people, and welcome back to Life Gone Real with me, your host, Rana Deanne. I want to, actually, on this episode, I want to pick up from where I left off on my first episode and just continue. I just want you guys to continue with me on my journey in my own personal process and give you guys some feedbacks, things that I have done to basically let go of my relationship and getting back to myself. And so we're just kind of diving in right there. We're just gonna go right into it. So this is very tough because just like I said before, every relationship is different. Everybody's on different healing processes. You could be working on your marriage, which is amazing. I am not, if you can work on your marriage and you guys are on the same path, that is fantastic. I definitely want to let you all know from the bottom of my heart, I believe in love. I love love. I love hard. I love big. And hey, I'm sure one of these days that will come back in my life. But if you're working on your marriage, and I think I said in my first episode, we got married young. And, there's couples that have gotten married young and, oh my gosh, they're madly in love with each other. I think it's so cute and they're still together. So just because you have gotten married young does not mean that your marriage is going to fall apart. Just like I've said so many times, every relationship, every marriage is different. And I'm just sharing my story because I know my story is not the only one. And if I can help out anybody, a woman or a man, or couples, just to inspire and encourage that you're not alone, then that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what I'm doing. So I am not, I don't know, I don't think I portrayed that at all, but I love marriage. I love relationships. Just again, I love love, all of that good stuff. But okay, so I'm going to get back to my notes because I ventured off. But when to let go, that is a tough one. And I'll have to say, I know my therapist at the time, I remember, your body kind of tells you, if you really listen to it, your body honestly will tell you when it's time to let go. For me, I realized I couldn't keep doing this every few years of just not knowing if my husband wanted to be with me. He had gone through this a few years ago, and when you don't know and the what ifs, it's very hard. It hurt me too much. And honestly, it actually held me back now that I think about it. And now that I'm kind of out of it, it held me back of who I am and who I'm to become. I couldn't stay in it because there was so much damage. And so when my therapist said, your body will tell you, I mean, seriously, women and men out there, I believe you have to listen to your gut feeling and your intuition. And I think we all have that. I know for me, and probably a lot of people are like this. I think some people push that intuition and that gut feeling. If it's bad, you push it down. I know for me, I do, because I always see the good in everyone. I always want to see the positive. So I push some of the gut feelings that I'm like, it's not, or your intuitions. I always would take it back and push that down because I wanted to see more of the better potential. I wanted to see the good. And that is something that happened with me. Just don't push that away. And, your body and your heart knows It really does. It knows when to let it go. So it really is just up to you. And this is, I don't know. I'm just saying for me, it was up to me of, I could feel that in my body and I just knew it was time for me to, I had to let go. One, I was able to let go because I'll just be honest. One of the biggest things for us was trust. And even though I tried, to even just hold on to some type of little thread of trust that was there, I just couldn't do it. And honestly, it was breaking my own heart and my own soul to hang on. I think trust is such a huge, huge part in a relationship. And once it starts breaking, guys, it's very, very hard to mend it back. That's how it was for me. And that's my story. And I tried many times. And honestly, that trust, it can be something really, really small. And that's even something that even happened with my relationship. It actually was small at the very, very beginning. And I'm sure when I do have him on the show, he'll share. Maybe he'll want to share. But it's like once that trust is broken, it's just really hard. And I really tried to look at the best and just always, but honestly, it did more damage to me. Just like I said, it really did. It broke more of my own heart and my own soul. And I didn't even realize that until, you get out of it. But on the other hand, I do believe, guys, relationships can heal and you can come out on the other side. If your relationship, and that was the other thing, if your relationship, if it is trust, I do believe that marriages can be mended. I think it just takes two to really make it work. And yeah, you have to both probably, you got to both be on that same page and be in sync with one another. And you both have to give it 100%, even over 100%, to really build that trust. And I totally believe that can happen. Absolutely. Another thing on letting go. Big deal. Once I let go, guys, that was when I was able to start forgiving. And I think I'm just sharing my story, but my journey, once I let go, I was able to start forgiving him. And forgiveness is not to help the other person. Forgiveness, honestly, is to help you. When I let go, I was able to forgive him, but that was a huge start in my healing was the forgiveness, because forgiveness actually is something you do for your own self, for your own soul, for your heart, to really heal and to move forward. But I don't know. I think that process, I have no idea, but I'm just saying, I think that really started once you just let it go. And then everybody's different. Everybody has different levels of when to heal. And that was the other thing. My healing is different in different times. I think some people, it takes time. It could be a year. It could be a couple of years, and that's okay. Or it could be a couple of months. For me, it was pretty quickly. Obviously, this was the second go around for me, but and again, all I had was time. I mean, we were in quarantine, so all I had was time, and the world shut down. So that was a blessing in disguise, and I mean, it's crazy, but it really helped me. So one thing, oh my gosh, I do want to tell you guys one thing that really helped me with getting how to get yourself back. I started reading a lot, and I just poured nothing but good things inside of me. I just started pouring things into my soul. One good book I really fell in love with, and it's this one. It is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. It looks like this. This book is a really good book. Wow. There's a lot of things that really resonated with me. This is just a great book. Her story, yes, you should read it. Listen to her story. She also wrote Love Warrior. And this was a good book for me and just my journey. So there's that. There's also, I don't have it with me. It's called Mastery of Love. That is a fantastic book. It's pretty much about loving yourself and love that. So I really recommend that book. If you're working on your marriage or working on your relationship, another good book I suggest, it's called Love and Respect. That's a really, really great book. As far as women, it really talks about respecting your husband and respecting the man, and or if you're not married, if you're just in a relationship, serious relationship, Love and Respect is really good. Okay, so how I started kind of healing or getting back to myself and healing myself. One thing was I read a lot of books. I listened to great podcasts, and I meditated. I prayed. I just fed my soul goodness. So whatever, I don't know, get into yourself a little bit, whatever that is for you. I think that's a huge, huge, huge thing. I also, guys, I tapped into something. I tapped into things that I used to love. When I was younger, I started listening to tons of 80s music, which I love 80s music, 90s music, just things that really, I don't know, that I danced and just goofed off in and on, with my friends. I mean, oh my gosh, those kind of music is great. So I really just started to listen. And it's funny because my daughter Ava and even my son, they, for some reason, have gone into the 80s. They love 80 movies, 80s and 80s music. And that is just like breath to my soul. I love it. And that is a really big, it's been fun that I've been able to enjoy those things that I grew up with, and they're loving it just as much. So that has helped me immensely. I also watched, I just started watching old movies I used to love. I danced around my house, and Ava got me into TikTok, so we just started dancing around. I just started getting back, honestly, to some of my roots and just back to who I was many, many years ago. And I don't know if those are little tips for you guys, if that might help you. It helped me. It's very healing, and it's just very refreshing, and it really does. It heals your heart, heals your soul. That's just tips, and those are things that I did. So I think that's pretty much about it. I just wanted to share a little bit more of my process and a little bit of my journey, since you guys are all along this journey with me. But I am going to have some amazing guests on the show, and we're just going to talk about, oh my gosh, we'll talk about marriages. We're going to talk about relationships. Just like I said, we'll talk about dating. We'll definitely talk about the whole dating thing, because that's a whole brand new world, even for myself. I have no idea. But I'm glad you guys are here with me. I'm glad you guys are listening, or if you're watching. And we'll see you next time on Life Gone Real with Ronna Deanne. That's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Life Gone Real. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast and YouTube channel. Definitely rate it. Leave comments. I'd love to get into your lives a little. Send me some topics you'd like to talk about, or if there's anything you're possibly going through in your life. I'm so glad you're here with me on this journey. Cheers to you, and have a great day.